Hello everybody, my name is Jason and welcome back to this channel about magic. Before we get into the reaction, I have something magical I want to share with you. Let's take a look. So during my magician reaction intro, there's this one card move I do that a lot of people comment on. They're asking about how it works. It's essentially this, where I put the cards down and one just mysteriously jumps back. Let's see if I can get that to happen one more time. Yeah, just like that. And it's a friggin' magic. So anyways, if you're interested in learning that yourself, I finally made a tutorial and put it on my Patreon. Just go to Google and type Jason Parker Patreon, or you can click in my pinned comment below. I'll put a link there too. But anyways, back to the purpose of this video, which is a reaction to Miranda Allen. She is a Canadian escape artist. And actually, before I do these reaction videos, I usually Google the person's name and see what I can find out about them. And thankfully, she actually had a fully developed, nice website. It's very clear what she does for entertainment and where she's from and who she is. Sometimes I try to do a little bit of research, but I don't come up with much, and I'm just like, well, they're a magician and I think they're from America, maybe. So anyway, I just wanted to say kudos to Miranda Allen for having a fully professional, fleshed out website explaining who she is and what she does. Rant finished. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into the reaction.
I come from a classical theater background. I came out of theater school and I needed a job. I saw an audition posting for this giant puppetry company and they taught me to stilt walk. I found myself at events that had these big street shows, and I was fascinated by these people that could create theater anywhere.
I wonder what city that was, by the way. It almost looked kind of like Europe. And it could be, because when I was looking through her awesome website, I saw that she studied theater in Moscow, Russia. So anyway, if anyone recognizes that plaza, that square, and they know where it was, leave it in a comment below. Back to her intro.
So I decided to become a street performer. I learned my first straitjacket escape. When I saw the visceral reaction that audiences had to it, I decided I wanted to go further with escape. An escape is like a puzzle, like any problem in life. Step by step, we can find a way through. I wanted to do something that would really make a splash. I wanted to do something big and dangerous for Fool Us. This is the most dangerous escape I've ever done.
Sounds exciting.
Fasten your seatbelts and get ready for Miranda Allen.
Many people come to Las Vegas with their friends in search of a crazy experience. Well, after tonight, we might have everybody beat. With Sarah's help, I will be attempting an unusual escape from a dangerous substance.
Red wine.
Restrained with handcuffs and chains, I will be submerged inside this barrel, locked beneath the lid with a maximum security padlock. There will be no air, and if there were light, I couldn't see it. My eyes will be clenched shut against the burn of the wine.
And no, she can't drink her way out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that this is different than water, because if a little bit kind of got into your nose or your mouth, you'd be like, you know, there's some acidity to wine, so it actually does seem a little bit more dangerous just because of that, you know, kind of reflex we have to it. I mean, of course, water getting into your lungs isn't really cool either. But yeah, I've never seen someone put themselves in a barrel full of wine before, I can say that much. Back to the video.
Allison, will you please hold this key? Do nothing unless Sarah holds her hand out like this. If she does so, place the key in her hand and then get out of the way of the rescue attempt.
Oh, great.
Understood?
Yes.
Wait a second, there's gonna be a rescue attempt? Is this part of the plan? I guess she just means if a rescue attempt is necessary. Get the heck out of the way. Anyways.
For now, we'll just ask you to stand over here next to our beautiful assistants.
Hello.
Ready?
Ready.
Ah, I see she's got that nose plug to help avoid getting wine up her nose. P.S. I've never used a nose plug before. Have you? Comment below. Is that really wine? It looks so transparent. It looked like it was barely red at all. Granted, I've never had a barrel full of wine and stepped into it and watched it overflow from the sides. It really could be wine. Who am I to say? I don't see wine spilling that often. Usually I try to avoid spilling it, so yeah, this is a really useless comment I'm making right now. Back to the video.
Got me?
I got you.
It's all about trust, I guess. You see, that looks like water. But I guess it's wine. Why would they lie about it being wine? Wow. Very serious. I know this is a trick and all, but could you imagine the feeling of panic of being inside of this little tiny barrel and having the lid chained in place on top? I mean, if something went wrong and you just started suffocating and like sucking wine into your lungs, it's just, it's actually kind of terrible to imagine it, you know? You can feel the danger. It's especially bad when you see that wine seeping out the edges. It's just full all the way up to the top.
Just locked my best friend in a barrel full of wine. Just a really normal thing to do, you know? I do these knocks every 15 seconds so that I know she's not dead. And that she knows she's not dead. She says it helps her focus through the panic. An adult can drown in about 60 seconds. So if something goes wrong, I have a minute minus the time it takes me to figure out she's in trouble to get her out.
False alarm. I'm not laughing at her, I'm just laughing because it's very tense, you know, and that's my reaction because you see that wine up there at the surface level just splashing over, and when you see her hands there, you just imagine like having this desire to breathe and not being able to. Oops. Don't you hate it when that happens? Allison's expression. Ah, she got it. That's good enough. Come up. I wonder if they're going to go to dinner later that evening and celebrate by having a glass of wine, or if they'd just be like a little tired of all the wine by then. I'm also curious what the vintage of this wine was. Was it a Cabernet Sauvignon?
Miranda Allen! Oh, she came. Oh, wow, that was so intense.
It's a bit intense.
I mean, probably more so for you than me, but, you know, I was pretty stressed out.
I'm sorry for making you feel that way.
You must really trust Sarah.
Honestly, that is one of the things to me that this act is about trust. Absolutely. And I'm so grateful to have her here with me to make this happen.
Oh, how intense is it for you?
Oh, it's like having a heart attack in real time.
Oh, great.
But I've told her from the beginning that as long as I don't have to get in the barrel, I'll do everything else.
All right. Well, let's see if you can escape with a trophy.
All right.
Alright, blah. Alright, I'll give you my thoughts real quick before we hear from Penn and Teller. First off, that was really cool. I enjoyed it. It had a very tense and nervous feeling, as it's supposed to. Second off, I have a great respect for street performers. You know, I think you learn really quickly when you're putting yourself out there in front of the public. Nobody likes to be embarrassed and to fail, you know, and so it teaches you very quickly, and you develop a skill for entertaining a group of people and holding their attention in the palm of your hand, but gently, like a bird. At any rate, I just feel like there's a great entertainment value here. As far as the magic side of it, well, she doesn't really bill herself as being a magician. She says she's like an escapist. Escapologist? Anyways, the question is, was there magic involved, or was she actually escaping in real time? Because of the fact that she's on Fool Us, a show about magicians, I'm gonna guess that there was a trick involved. For starters, we didn't see into the bottom of the barrel. It was filled with wine, which is opaque, and as far as we know, there could be like a small oxygen tank down there or something. For that matter, it could have even been built into the stage below the barrel. So I guess not many people are gonna feel very fooled when watching this performance. In fact, it would have been nice if they had been able to show the barrel empty to begin with and then fill it with wine, but that would have taken a lot more time and procedure to do that, and they probably just wanted to like get right to the entertaining part of it. So this wasn't necessarily a magic trick, but then again, Houdini did a lot of stuff like escape that wasn't magic either. David Blaine, a more modern example, does a lot of feats of pushing human endurance. So what I'm saying is, you know, magic and escape, these two arts have always been closely tied together. Well, that's enough blah 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 from me. Let's hear what Penn and Teller have got to say.
Boys.
Miranda, Sarah, the first thing we said when the applause died down, which was quite a while before we could hear each other, was that that's just perfect. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's heroic. And this is laid out what an escape should be, what Houdini always did, which is the escape artist is the hero, full stop. And adding friendship in, well, needless to say, that touches us. You're also not the same height, so of course, we're very moved by that. Using the phrase best friend is just so powerful. And I've never seen that in an escape act. We've done a zillion escape acts, and we've never thought of throwing that in. And you could hear the whole audience turn when that happened. It was just beautiful. But still, you have all the excitement. When you put those handcuffs on, we got all jumpy. And I'll also say that I just can't find enough good to say about this, except you're a hero and you celebrated friendship. I will also say that Teller and I have done an awful lot with locks and with escapes and with being under liquid. But this is such a hard sentence to say, because I don't think you fooled us, but you inspired us, and it was just beautiful, heroic, safe, and moral act that I just loved every second of.
Thank you.
So does it sound like the boys know the secrets of your trick?
Of course they do, but it was such a joy to come here and share this with you. Thank you.
It's fabulous, fabulous.
Thank you. Miranda Allen!
Alright, now I'll go ahead and give you my final closing thoughts. Yeah, it seemed like at the end there, Penn was kind of focusing on the whole entertainment performance aspect of it and really praising them for this concept of having the best friend be the person helping you. And you see that best friend right there while the person's submerged in water, so obviously they care and would be deeply impacted if the magician or escapist person were to die. Is it escapist or escapologist? Anyways, it brings that emotional tension because not only do you feel it as the audience, but you see the best friend right there being worried. So I do agree that's a very clever way to present the entire thing. Because what is magic? What is escape? It's all about entertainment anyway. And sometimes the hardest thing is to get the concept, which people don't necessarily appreciate. It's just kind of like a default or a given, but when you start with a blank slate and you're like, what should we do? And you have to imagine the reason why, the construct of the whole thing. Yeah, I could say that having that best friend there is a really cool concept. As far as the magic part, there probably isn't too much to discuss about that. And I'm curious if Penn was talking in code there. When he said something about being the hero, he rather emphasized that word. But to me, it doesn't really mean anything. Sorry. Anyways, I felt like it was a great performance by Miranda Allen. What about you? What did you think? Leave a comment below. And now, for the Aesop's Fable portion of this video, I have selected a story in particular to share with you called The Ass and the Mule. This one is even larger than half of a page, if you can believe it. Chapter 178, The Ass and the Mule. A certain man who had an ass and a mule loaded them both up one day and set out upon a journey. So long as the road was fairly level, the ass got on very well. But by and by they came to a place among the hills where the road was very rough and steep, and the ass was at his last gasp. So he begged the mule to relieve him of a part of his load, but the mule refused. At last, from sheer weariness, the ass stumbled and fell down a steep place and was killed. The driver was in despair, but he did the best he could. He added the ass's load to the mule's, and he also flayed the ass and put his skin on top of the double load. The mule could only just manage the extra weight, and as he staggered painfully along, he said to himself, "I have only got what I deserved. If I had been willing to help the ass at first, I should not now be carrying his load and his skin into the bargain." Wow. Well, right off the bat, I'm just kind of shocked that he flayed the ass and took his skin. I don't see how that was necessary. That seemed a little bit over the top. I guess they wanted to do that just to make a point that the mule ended up carrying not only the full load, but even more than the full load. So what's the moral here? Well, I guess we can talk about synergy, because together you can do more than the simple addition of your individual efforts, or something like that. Anyways, if the mule had been willing to help out with the ass's load, man, I hope this video doesn't get demonetized. I sure am talking about the ass quite a lot, aren't I? Anyways, if the mule had been willing to help, then his work would not have been so severe in the end. He was too self-centered, he didn't want to help out the group, and in the end, it caused him trouble. That's generally the concept here, you know? There is no I in team. There's an E, and there's an A, and actually you could spell me. Anyways, I don't feel like I need to spell it out more than that. I think we all understand what's happening here. Are there any other side interpretations, any other smaller? Sometimes there's like a hidden gem inside of the main message. Yeah, I mean, even the ass was asking for help, but the mule was just too stubborn. All right, for example, if you're at work and you want to make yourself look better than your coworker, if you're kind of competitive, if you make them look too bad, your colleague might be fired, and then you're going to have double the work. Maybe even more than double if you've got to carry your colleague's skin as well. Hopefully your boss isn't the type who flays employees when he fires them. What was the driver gonna do with that ass skin anyway? Like make wallets out of it? All right, I think I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. And that's the end of the Aesop's Fable story time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you want to learn that magic card move I was doing at the very beginning, remember to check out my Patreon. You can learn some magic, and you can also help support this channel at the same time. It's synergy. I hope things are going well for you. Hope you're having a great week. I feel like this season 7 of Penn and Teller is pretty good so far. A lot of really entertaining acts and very magical things as well. At any rate, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yup.